Today we're previewing the first marquee matchup of the college football season between Florida and Utah. Now at the moment, Utah is a 4.5 point favorite, and the over-under for total points scored in this one is sitting at 43.5. I do believe there are more ways for Utah to win this game than there are for Florida to win this game, hence why Utah is the favorite. And that's even considering the current status of Utah's starting quarterback Cam Rising, who is doubtful to play in this one, as is their starting tight end. And my main reasoning for that is because I look at Utah's returning production and experience on both sides of the ball, and I look at Florida's new pieces, and I just believe that Utah probably knows who they are as a football team more so than Florida at this point in the season. So I think Utah has a higher baseline level of play, especially in a week one game. So the first key I'm looking for in this game is which team is going to set up the run better, because I do not believe this is the type of game really for either team where you can just come into the game and say, we're going to line it up and run the ball on 1st and 10. I expect to see some passing on early downs, maybe some shots down the field, and I also think that each team has running backs that are capable of creating explosive plays, but not against each of these front sevens. We know how good Utah's defense is going to be, and Billy Napier actually believes that Florida's front seven may very well be the strength of the team. And to me, that really explains the point total here at 43.5. You know, Florida has the new starting QB in Graham Mertz. Utah is most likely missing Cam Rising, and it's a week one game, which can be kind of sloppy, maybe even turnover prone at times. Here's another reason we're seeing a low point total here. Did you know that last year, even though in this game it was tight throughout, there were lead changes all the way into the fourth quarter, each team ran the ball more than they threw it? I mean, even considering the fact that both teams got into a 2-minute drill in the fourth quarter, they still ran the ball more times than they threw it, and that really just tells me about the DNA of the coaching staffs and what these teams ultimately want to do. And I believe another key aspect to this game will be the play of Florida's skill position players, because outside of Ricky Pearsall, this is a pretty young group. I mean, you have guys like Caleb Douglas and Marcus Burke. Can they make some splash plays against a stout Utah secondary? Neither team has a proven dominant pass rusher to me. I mean, they do have a few pieces here and there. So I'm also looking for who's going to generate pressure on those key third downs, maybe by blitzing and bringing 6 or bringing some type of exotic blitz. You know, who's going to generate more pressure? And last but not least, as cliche as it may sound, you know, which quarterback is going to play better in this game? I left that for the third key because I didn't want to make it first because it is pretty cliche, but it's true. We have to consider that. So at the end of the day, who's going to set up the run better? Who's going to be able to generate pressure on those big third downs? And which quarterback's going to play better? So as my prediction against the point spread for this game, I'm actually going to go with Florida, even though I said that there are more ways for Utah to win this game than there are for Florida. And I really think Graham Mertz and Florida's skill position players are going to catch Utah off guard. I think they're going to make some splash plays down the field, and they're really going to surprise some people in this game. And the season's not over for Utah either. I mean, they're the two-time back-to-back, I shouldn't say two-time, but they're the back-to-back defending Pac-12 champs. They still have their whole season in front of them, but I am taking Florida to cover the 4.5 points. All right, thanks for watching. I've got more college football episodes coming out in the near future, including a college football preview where I take a look at the top 25 teams in the country. Thanks, and stay tuned.